Trust Talks. This morning, I've got Bryan Stevens with me. My name's Keeton, Eoff. Bryan is one of our fraud investigators. And so this is something that is top of mind nowadays with artificial intelligence and everything that's going on. And so we've got Bryan here to dig deep into this and educate me and you as well on how to protect your assets. But Bryan, first I have a story.
Okay.
So yesterday after work, I went fishing.
Did you?
Yeah, I went over to buddy's ranch and I pulled out my trusty fishing rod and I like to use a bait called a Senko. Now, are you a fisherman?
A little bit.
A little bit.
A little bit. Not as good as what it sounds like you
Oh,
are. I do enjoy fishing.
this is a good story. So, and I like to say, any bait or anything will work as long as it's a green pumpkin Senko. Okay, that's what you use to catch them. So I'm bass fishing. It's a pond's full of bass, and I'm catching them, and I hook a big one. I mean, I'm like stretching line. It's big. I tell my buddy, I'm like, hey, I got a 10-pounder on here, and it's under the dock, and it's running me around, and it gets up and rolls over, and it's a big 10-pound channel cat. All right, now who tricked who? Because here I am using an artificial bait to lure this fish. And what I'm thinking is all these bass are after it. And finally that catfish just went, you know what? Fear of missing out, FOMO.
Yeah.
Went and took it. And so anyway, I landed a nice big channel cat. And that was the only channel cat I caught, thankfully. But I was also disappointed because it wasn't a 10-pound bass.
Right.
So that's my fishing story, which is going to lead into different types of fraud. And obviously fishing's one of them.
Yes, it is.
So just explain to our audience a little bit about fishing and different types of fraud.
Oh, the fraud is evolving, and we're playing catch up all the time, it feels like. A lot of the phishing that you're going to see is an attempt to gain access. So, in fact, I get a lot of these. I get emails that go to my junk mail that say your Amazon account has been breached. Click here to make sure that the transactions are authorized. It's important to never click on an email or a link provided in an email because we don't know the source. If you are concerned about, say, your Amazon account, it's important to log into your app or your trusted source and then check to see if there's any unauthorized transactions. But you don't want to click on the link. You don't want to click on the phone number. But emails are big. Text messages are becoming big too. I'm sure that we've all gotten unpaid speeding tickets or toll tag in a text. You're not going to get a text message, indicating that you have unpaid tickets and to pay it through Bitcoin. So it's important to just really know the sources and don't trust anything that doesn't come from an official source.
Yeah, just like the calls from the IRS.
Oh, yes.
IRS will never call you. And it's a frustrating part of life now.
Oh, yeah, it is.
Because I probably receive 10 spam calls a day. Thankfully, phone technology is getting to where it picks up and notifies you that it's a spam. But sometimes they can get through.
They can. And it's frustrating that you have to block calls for unknown people because it makes it more difficult if a doctor's office is calling you and you don't have their number saved. But in today's world, it's pretty important because when you pick up that line and it's from somebody you don't know and you start saying hello or can you hear me, they're recording your voice more than likely. And in today's technology, they can use that voice recording to steal your identity if you're not careful.
Let's dig into that a little bit more.
Okay.
Because we all get those calls and it's so tempting. Just like it looks, they're familiar numbers now through,
Right.
Our own area codes. And so you want to click on that or you want to answer it. And so, yeah, kind of go through what they're attempting to do and why it's just constant. It's a barrage of spam phone calls some days. And from what I understand, even clicking on it, if I don't even speak, they're learning that I'm listening. Yeah. Can you dig deeper into that?
I can. And I'll start by saying that the benefits of AI are there and they are handy at times, but it's awfully scary too. There's a lot of uncharted water that we're about to enter with AI, and we're going to have a lot of learning curves. When you get these calls, everything is targeted, and most of the time they just have computers making these calls over and over and over. as many numbers as they can get. And then similar to real fishing, once they get one on the hook, then they start working from there. So the second that that phone call is answered, you're right, they are recording. They're trying to get access. They're trying to get information. They're trying to get your voice. They're trying anything that they can. And that's just with the phone calls. They can start doing it with text too. They'll send you a text, and maybe you've had some of these. I've had them a lot. That they will send a text and it will say, "Are we still on for dinner tonight?" And it's from an unknown number. Well, a lot of people are courteous and will say, "I'm sorry, you had the wrong number." That response gains, "Oh, you're so kind." Most people are real rude. If you're ever in the LA area, hook me up, we'll have some coffee. And then a conversation starts. And from there, what they want you to do is they want you to get off text. They want you to go to different apps. WhatsApp is an app that when we hear in the financial fraud industry, we automatically know it's fraud. That is just the big red flag. It's generally not censored very well, not regulated very well. And whenever people ask you to go to WhatsApp, it's because they want to disguise the conversation. And once there, then they'll start the social engineering.
Yeah. And WhatsApp, I've traveled internationally some, and it's a big platform internationally. I'm sure cell service may be more expensive, and it allows someone just to log into the internet, make phone calls, and do whatever, So it's a well-used platform, but also a great platform for frauds.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, with the experiences I've had with it have not been positive. So I'm a little biased, I guess, when it comes to WhatsApp.
Number one red flag.
No, it's one red flag on ever. Because we get it a lot too, where people will say they're talking to an investor on WhatsApp. No, you're not. You want to talk to an investor on the phone, in person, maybe email, but after you've established that relationship, to know that they're a trusted source.
And always second or third party verification. Yes, they're unsure. Go find a trusted source.
Absolutely.
And you can work through most of these. Now, these guys do a fantastic job of educating us. Like daily, we get an email from you guys kind of saying, "Hey, here's a new thing that's going on. Here's it's just kind of a reminder, because we're working with clients and then, in their financial best interest, protecting their assets. And so that's just a top of mind reminder every day that we get from you guys that keeps us on our toes.
It's important to get that information out there because it changes all the time. And we have to do everything that we can to educate ourselves so that we can be a trusted source for our customers. And we never want these fraudsters to convince the customers that they need to lie to the bank. They're talking about someone they've never met in person that's telling them that there's internal theft at the bank, and that the only way to protect their money is to take it all out and put it into a Bitcoin machine. And once that happens, it's gone. It's you'll never see it again.
Unfortunately, that discrete Bitcoin network is used.
It is.
Is that where you see most of the fraud attempts happening?
That's probably the biggest increase. And the reason is because they put it into a wallet number. They get that wallet number, they enter it into this ATM, which is a reverse ATM. You put your money in as opposed to getting it out. And once they put it into this digital wallet, even though the actual money is still there in the machine, within a matter of minutes, it's going to be laundered out through multiple different other wallets, and it'll be gone.
You guys are on top of things, and I can tell we can go down a deep rabbit hole.
Yes.
Yes. But at First Financial Wealth Management, First Financial Trust, we manage a variety of assets from minerals, real estate, and obviously financial assets. So, what are ways? What makes us more vulnerable, like a target, a wealth management client?
In that industry, there are sometimes the accounts can be more complex than others, and they are high value assets. The person knows there's a potential of a larger sum of money, then that's going to make them a target.
Give me an idea of, I got a notification the other day that Texas Parks and Wildlife, my license had been, that data had been breached. So how are fraudsters using that reach data to create fraud, create opportunities for fraud?
They're using that to basically get your information. Even if it's a little bit at a time, they can build a portfolio of your information. So for your hunting and fishing license, you're required to provide your driver's license number, date of birth, height, weight. So that right there is a very good starting point for a fraudster to ultimately steal your identity.
Yeah, our relationship managers, which kind of head the accounts. Once again, I mentioned that we get daily emails. One of the benefits of working with someone like First Financial and our wealth management team is you've got an educated team that is protecting your asset along with you, and you also have that trusted advisor that you know by name, and you can call them and you can come by and see them, and you can work through things easily.
We as a bank, we are, one of probably the best in Texas as far as trustworthy bank. People trust First Financial, and that's been done by, generations before us, and that's something that we're continuing to do. And we need people to be able to walk in and say, listen, I've got this incident where they're saying that one of the tellers is not trustworthy. Now that's a fraud scam. But if they bring that to us, then they know that they can sit down with one of us and we can have a face-to-face conversation. Whereas this person that they're talking to via app or email or phone, they have no idea who this person is.
Yeah, that's one of the things I love about our company. We answer the phone.
Yes, we do.
And you build relationships, and it's probably the number one thing that will protect you.
Absolutely.
Is that good relationship that you can trust and check resources.
Absolutely.